Well, hi, all my friends. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. I got a comment earlier about invoking your biblical rights, Michael. I love your passion. But you have to remember that the book is that the Lord preserved for us for all these years is not always literal. So when he's talking about your land, he's talking about people. Okay, so rethink your thinking there a little bit. I'm sorry I'm not going into more meanings of what certain things mean. It's because I don't know all of them, and they don't always mean the same thing. Just like, in English, some words don't always mean just one meaning. They have several meanings, okay? And same thing with sign language. So before you step off American Ink, check with me again, and I'll try to help you with that a little bit more. Send me another message if you want to. Okay, so you're going to be claiming people, not land. Okay, there's a lot of things that are in our Bible that are not explained by our pastors because they don't know always, and a lot of the colloquial sayings, the metaphors and things like that we just don't know what they used to mean back in the ancient times. So if I were to say, yo man, the waves are really super high at Surfer's Point, well, we don't have any landmark that says Surfer's Point, okay? But any surfer knows where Surfer's Point is. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Dude. All right, I'm a little silly this morning, I know. But, okay. Hey, we're in the book of Lamentations of Jeremiah, and so we'll get finishing with that. Healthcare, Chucky Schumer just smiling, and of course Dianne Feinstein, thinking that they've won something. Look, these guys work together. Anybody who's put you in office wants you to get things done. So, high-fiving each other because you failed is not success in my book. Okay, you haven't done anything. Get some work done, you people, right? So the American people can feel a little bit more secure with their health. And, John McCain, he's being a little bit more sensitive right now because he's, going to undergo brain surgery, for a mass that's in his brain. So, he was trying to leave maybe some legacy or something for himself, who knows, but whatever his heart intent is, really. In anything that you do, your heart's intent is really important. That's what God looks at. Why are you in the position that you are in? If you are trying to look pious and like you're something, better than somebody else, or that, you're all that, you're in the wrong position to work for other people. You're not helping, in other words. Okay. My 2 cents worth. Yeah. It's Friday. Into my workshop week. It's not been a good week for the people hosting. They've had some glitches. But I mean, anybody that I've talked to is enjoying themselves there. It's just that it didn't go off as smoothly as they would hope for their 10-year anniversary. And I'm sorry for that, for them. I know they feel bad. But people who are going and attending seem to be having a okay time, and those who need, credits to keep up their accreditation, like me, I'm happy to get my credits, in and under my belt, and it takes a long time to get these things. It takes, they give you 5 years, and it takes just about that long sometimes. You can do it within 3, but it's very difficult because these workshops are far and few between, and they're hard to get to sometimes. And sometimes you can do them online, but so it's not always that easy. So anyway, okay, so Lamentations, Jeremiah's lamenting, okay, his sorrow, the wickedness that's going on, and the misery and everything, and he's lamenting right now. And verse 19, he's saying, I called for my lovers, but they deceived me. My priests, mine elders, gave up the ghost in the city, while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Okay, they're wanting, their sin. And behold, O Lord, for I am in distress. My bowels are troubled. My heart is turned in me, and I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaved, at home there is a death. And they have heard that I sigh. There is none to comfort me. All mine enemies have heard my trouble. They are glad, though that thou hast done it. Thou wilt bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them that thou hast done unto me for all of my transgressions. For my sighs are many, and my heart is faint. Very despondent right now. And chapter 2, Jeremiah laments Jerusalem misery. He complains thereof to God. How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven unto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. The Lord hath swallowed up all the inhabitants of Jacob, and hath not pitied. He hath thrown down in his wrath the strongholds of the daughter of Judah. He hath brought them down to the ground. He hath polluted the kingdom and the princes thereof. He hath cut off in his fierce anger all of the horn of Israel. He hath drawn back his right hand from before the enemy, and he burned against Jacob like a flaming fire, which devoured round about. So we're talking about humiliation here. And he had bent his bow like an enemy. He had stood with his right hand as an adversary, and slew all that were pleasant to the eye in the tabernacle of the daughter of Zion. He poured out his fury like fire. The Lord was an enemy. He hath swallowed up Israel. He had swallowed up all her palaces. He had destroyed his strongholds, and has increased the daughter of Judah's mourning and lamentation. And he hath violently taken away his tabernacle as if it were a garden. He hath destroyed his places of the assembly. The Lord hath caused the solemn feasts and Sabbaths to be forgotten in Zion, and hath despised in the indignation of his anger the king and the priest. The Lord hath cast off his altar. He hath abhorred his sanctuary. He had given up unto the hand of the enemy the wall of her palaces, and they have made a noise in the house of the Lord. As in the day of the solemn feast, the Lord hath purposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He hath stretched out a line. He hath not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languish together. Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princesses are among the Gentiles, and the law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Lord. The elders of the daughters of Zion sit upon the ground. Keep silent. They have cast up dust upon their head. They have girded themselves with sackcloth. And the virgins of how is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out into the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers in the works of the hands of the potter? Even the sea monsters have drawn out the breast, they have given suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the suckling child cleaved to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask for bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the street. They that were brought up in the scarlet embrace dunghills. For the punishment of iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polish was of sapphire. Their visage is blacker than a coal, and they are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It has become like a stick. They that slain by the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of fruit of the field. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were meat in the destruction of the daughters of my people. Cannibalism. The Lord hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger, and hath kindled a fire in Zion, and he hath devoured the foundations thereof. The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. For the sins of her prophets and iniquities of her priests, they have shed blood, and the just in the midst of her. They have wandered as the blind men in the streets. They have polluted themselves with blood, so that the men could not touch their garments. They cried unto them, Depart ye, it is unclean. Depart, touch not. They fled away, wandered. They said among the heathen, They shall no more sojourn there. The anger of the Lord hath divided them, and he will no more regard them. They respect not the persons of the priests. They favor not the elders. As for us, our eyes are yet failed. For our vain help in our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps, and we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, and the days are fulfilled. Our end is come. Our prosecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heavens. They have pursued us among the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointing the Lord was taken in their pits, of whom we said, Under the shadow we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also passed through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'll do one more video, and then we're going to do a summation of Ezekiel before we get started in the book of Ezekiel. Okay, thank you, my friends. Thank you for your comments, and happy Friday to you. I hope it's going to be a good one for you and a good weekend. And do pray and keep the Lord in mind. Thomas, I'm so glad that you are on the mend and doing better. And do keep up with your therapy, please. You know, it's important. And thank you, Billy, for your comments. I do so appreciate you. And love seeing you on Facebook. That's really fun. Okay, well, I'll talk to you guys later. Leave me a comment. Thumbs up if you like it, only if you like it. And leave me comments. It helps to keep the channel going at YouTube. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.